What's this? There's a strange stone strapped to the cover. It appears to be a journal, full of hogwash. I don't recognise the handwriting. Maybe Stanley knows more about it.
Good morning. How's your head, Miss Bateman? That were quite the tune you treated us to last night.
To be honest, Stanley, I've felt better. I take it you slid this journal under my door?
I beg your pardon?
The journal, Stanley.
I certainly did no such thing. Nor could have anyone else. You're the only guest staying here.
What's the meaning of all this? Do you propose that it manifested itself out of thin air?
Well,
I'm sorry. I just don't understand how else it could have got there. Are you sure there was no one else here overnight?
Without doubt.
How very, very peculiar.
So, what does it say inside?
Take a look.
Well, I can't make head nor tail of it.
Neither can I.
Maybe someone else in the village can help you with it.
What do you make of this stone?
That's a funny-looking thing. It's got a cockerel on it.
Yes, but have you seen anything like it?
Never.
Do you ever have strange dreams, Stanley?
Me? I sleep as sound as a baby.
I had one such dream last night. It was so vivid.
What were it about?
I was at Hobbs Barrow.
Oh?
But everything was different. Great peaks soared in the distance. And there was a creature.
A creature, you say?
Yes, a short, robed fellow, eyes as black as pitch. It told me that my father had been there in Hobbs Barrow many years ago, but something went wrong and the creature helped him escape. It said that I would find proof in the morning.
Oh, the journal! You've had a premonition, lass.
Please, Stanley, I've no time for that nonsense. But I'll admit it's a strange coincidence.
Now, what did I tell you about Hobbs Barrow?
That I should leave it alone?
Aye.
Hogwash.
Your dream reminds me of a story from my childhood. An old folk tale about Hobbs Barrow.
What is this folk tale you mention?
Well, when I were a wee boy, there were talk of a goblin. They say he lived inside Hobbs Barrow, hence the name, Hobbs Barrow. Hob, coming from hobgoblin, of course. Unfortunately, I don't remember anything else about it.
I was told not to believe in such fairy tales, Stanley.
Don't close your mind to such things, lass. I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you more.
Perhaps, if I ever meet him. Goodbye.
See you soon.
Good morning, Mr. Kemp.
Good day, Miss Tompkins.
I'm here for his lordship's paper.
Sorry, lass. Mr. Price hasn't dropped them off this morning. I heard he actually left the village yesterday.
Indeed, I can vouch for that.
Ma'am?
Good day.
Oh dear. His lordship won't be pleased.
My sincerest apologies, Miss Tompkins.
I'll come back in a few days. Ta-ra.
Goodbye.
Goodness me, I can't budge it.
Be careful, Miss Bateman. You'll cut yourself. I spent all morning trying to get that bloody thing out. I shall be having words with that scoundrel next time he shows his face.
purses.
We have our very own Excalibur. It's all yours if you can pull it out, King Arthur.
Right, I need to convince Mr. Bryden to let me excavate Hobbs' Barrow and find out where this journal came from. I've just noticed this matchbox is completely damp from the rain. The match is no use to me anymore. Good morning, Father Roach.
Ah, Miss Bateman. What a pleasure to see you again. Have you tracked down Mr. Shoulder yet?
Don't get me started.
I'll take that as a no.
Indeed. Do you recognise this journal?
What a tatty old thing. You ought to take better care of your possessions, Miss Bateman.
It's not mine.
Then whose is it?
That's precisely what I'm trying to find out.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I haven't seen it before.
What do you make of this stone?
I don't recognize the symbol from any Christian iconography. Did you make it yourself?
No, never mind. What do you know of Lord Panswick?
Oh yes, a rather important fellow around here. His vast land holdings give many a steady employment.
I hear he is renovating an old chapel on his land.
Aye, I've heard such reports. He believes this to be a godless land, something I wholeheartedly disagree with. To which god his chapel will be dedicated to remains a matter of concern.
Why do you say that?
Oh, my apologies. Don't listen to my oafish conjecture. Let us move on.
What brings you to the square today?
I'm meeting a couple of young congregation members to go over some scripture. You're welcome to join us.
Thank you, Father Roach, but I have quite a busy day ahead of me.
We will be at St. Edmund's, should you wish to join us later.
Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
Thomasina!
Good morning, Arthur.
You look a bit addled. Are you feeling all right?
I am not used to drinking as much as we did.
Aye, my head is pounding.
To tell you the truth, Arthur, I've had a somewhat puzzling morning.
Oh?
Someone slipped this journal under the door of my room.
Whose journal is it?
I have no idea. The text refers to some sort of excavation.
Stanley must be playing tricks on you.
He swore his innocence. I thought perhaps you might have done it?
No, it wasn't me. That's for certain. Somehow I have a clear memory of last night.
I had a splendid time last night.
Aye, I even remember most of it this time. Thanks for listening to me going on. I really appreciate it.
The feeling is mutual. Thank you too, Arthur. Shouldn't you be manning the station?
The line is down. Track damage between Bewley and Bakewell. No trains for a day or more.
Does that mean I'm stranded here?
For the time being, Thomasina.
Capital. What do you make of this stone?
It's a good shape for skimming across water. What is it?
I'm not sure. It was strapped to the cover of the journal.
How mysterious.
I wonder who left me this journal then.
Mind if I take a closer look?
Please, go ahead.
The writings of a madman.
I don't disagree. Did the sketches mean anything to you?
No, not at all. But they turn me stomach. You might want to show this to Mother Mildred.
Who is Mother Mildred?
Some think her a witch.
A witch?
Aye. She might be able to help you with the symbols.
Where can I find her?
She lives alone in a little cottage within Herne Wood here. You shouldn't have too much trouble finding her.
Thanks, Arthur.
You're welcome.
Why do people think Mother Mildred is a witch? Just because a woman lives alone in the woods doesn't mean she flies about on a broomstick.
There's more to it than that. They say she lays with demons.
Who are they?
Oh, you know, local folk.
Hogwash.
Some also go to her for potions and spells.
Spells? Come now, Arthur.
Truth be told, she's a nice old lady. I sometimes see her foraging in the brambles around here.
Will she burn at the stake sometime soon?
You might think us backward in Bewley, Thomasina, but we're not that backward.
Sorry, Arthur. I only meant to tease. Goodbye.
Ta-ra!
Thomasina, dear, come say goodbye to your father. Come on now, don't make him wait.
I don't want to.
Aren't you going to miss me?
I hate you, Daddy.
Those are strong words for such a little lady.
I want to come with you.
We've been through this, little bird. You can't come with me this time, but we'll go to Seaborough next month. I promise. Oh, what a dig that shall be.
I hate you.
Well, I love you. See you soon, little bird.
Please, forgive my intrusion. Are you Mother Mildred?
Some call me that. I prefer Mildred Walker, given as that's my name.
Apologies. Thomasina Bateman. I think we met at Bewley Station.
I take it Panswick's men have cleared off. Good riddance. Those ruffians would cut their own noses off if he asked them to. I recognised you the moment I laid eyes on you at the station.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, yeah, it's quite a striking family resemblance. You have your father's eyes, Miss Bateman.
You knew my father?
Such piercing blue eyes he had. What a handsome young man. William.
He was here, in Bewley.
Oh, yes. A long time ago, mind. 25 years by my reckoning. But I'll never forget those eyes.
Why was my father in Bewley?
You were helping Samuel Bryden excavate Hobbs Barrow.
You must be jesting.
Do I look like I'm jesting?
How did you come to meet my father?
One might say I have a reputation in these parts. Folks from all around come to me for help with their ailments. Fernwood is abundant with flora that, if mixed correctly, will cure almost any ill. Your father must have caught wind of this, as one day he came to me, asking for a cure.
A cure for what?
Your mother was with child, and she was suffering the most terrible nausea.
Adam.
I made something to help her.
The journal. This was entered in the journal. It belongs to my father.
What journal?
Take a look at this. A passage recalls meeting a local wise woman to seek a tincture for his beloved's nausea gravidarum.
Aye, that's me. I made the tincture for him.
This is incredible.
You don't recognise your own father's handwriting?
It's been so many years since I've seen it. What do you make of this stone?
I-A-W. I haven't a clue. Perhaps it's an old folk trinket, or a talisman of some kind. The moors are steeped in folklore.
What can you tell me about the excavation?
Well, not much. I only met your father twice. The last time he asked me if I knew anything about binding magic.
Binding magic?
He said he needed it for the excavation.
Hogwash. My father is a man of logic and reason. Why would he be asking about such nonsense?
Perhaps you don't know him as well as you think you do. Anyway, I know nothing of magic and told him so. He seemed disappointed. I never saw him again, but I understand the excavation went ahead. Samuel Bryden hanged himself not long after. Reason enough for you to stay well clear of that place.
You never saw my father again after the excavation?
No, I always assumed he just went home.
Who excavated Hobbs Barrow alongside Samuel Bryden and my father?
From memory, it were just the two of them.
What do you think my father meant by binding magic?
I've no idea. He didn't explain more and I didn't wish to pry.
This just doesn't sound like my father at all.
You'll have to ask him yourself.
I'm afraid my father has been incapacitated since I was a child. He cannot speak nor move.
Terrible. Oh, I'm sorry.
You said that the flora here could cure almost any ill.
Almost, my dear. But your father's affliction sounds beyond my abilities.
The landlord of the Plough and Furrow told me about a folk tale associated with Hobbs Barrow. Something about a goblin. Are you familiar with it?
No doubt there is such a tale. Name any beastie you can think of and someone round here will have a story about it.
My thoughts precisely. Charles Bryden mentioned there was a third man involved in the excavation.
Is that so? Well, you'd best ask him about it. He knows more than I do.
Can you tell me anything about Leonard Shoulder?
I know of him, as is the nature of such a small town. I also know he invited you here.
Little escapes you, Miss Walker.
So they say. My path rarely crosses with his. Let's put it that way. But he's a nice enough fellow.
I see. Do you know Lord Panswick?
I know his labourers make a mess of these woods, the brutes. The man himself hasn't graced me with his presence.
You've never met him?
Not since he were a wee lad. A maid brought him to me with a sore stomach. It were all the rich food they were feeding him, nowt more.
Thank you for your help, Miss Walker.
Miss Bateman,
Yes.
remember what I told you when we first met? You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
Why?
Something terrible happened to Samuel Bryden in that barrow. Whatever they found down there, I'd wager it got to your father too. Tell me you won't disturb Hobbs Barrow.
I can't make that promise, Mildred.
Can't say I didn't warn you. There is something unnatural about that place.
We must seek to understand the world by rational means, Miss Walker. One cannot abandon reason.
Thomasina! Thomasina, come here this instant.
I'm playing with Josephine.
She can wait. This is very important.
What is it, Mummy?
It's your father.
Daddy's home?
No, my dear. I must go to Bakewell with haste. Miss Bowes will look after you whilst I'm gone. Is that clear?
Where's Daddy?
He's had an accident.
What happened?
He's come off his horse.
Silly Daddy. Will he be all right?
Of course he will be fine. Your father is as strong as an ox. But I need to go collect him, all right?
Can't I come too?
No, dear. Miss Bowes will look after you.
But I want to come.
Go pick up your dolls, then come inside, all right?
Yes, Mummy. Josephine, it's time to go inside now. Where did Mummy go?
The resin has set somewhat. It's firmly gripped to the stump. No, that... I've collected some waxy resin.
I helped him then, and I can help him again.
Arthur, you won't believe it. The journal belongs to my father. He was here in Bewley. Arthur? Hello?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to remember something.
What is it?
I'm not sure. Something in the woods. It will come back to me. You say your father were in Bewley?
Yes. Mildred said that he helped Samuel Bryden excavate Hobbs Barrow 25 years ago.
Well, I'll be. Let's talk about it tonight at the plough.
That's fine, Arthur. We'll talk later. I hope you piece together your memories.
Mummy?
Get away from the fire, Thomasina.
What are you burning?
Nothing. Just waste. Now go inside.
Abrax. Mummy, what is this?
Waste. Burn it.
Good day, Mr. Bryden.
Miss,
I'll
stop you there. I know what you're going to ask. No, I haven't changed my mind. There'll be no digging here, lass.
Mr. Bryden, allow me to explain. There has been an astonishing development this morning.
Yes?
My father was with your brother during the excavation.
Oh.
Yes. Can you believe it? I had no idea he had been here.
The answer's still no, lass. I saw what happened to poor Samuel. I won't risk the same happening to anyone else.
But...
That's enough now. You can feast your eyes on that hovel to your heart's content, but there'll be no digging. No questions. I'm not interested.
But...
Off with you.
Look, Mr. Bryden, my father's journal. It confirms he was with your brother during the excavation of Hobbs Barrow.
Ha! Take that away from me. I'll be having none of that.
What do you make of this stone, Mr. Bryden? It was strapped to my father's journal.
Wait a minute. Let me see that. By God. Wait here a moment. I need to get something from inside.
I waited for what felt like an age. I now realise that Mr. Bryden must have been in a great debate with himself, wondering whether or not to share his own piece of the mystery with me. The goat stared at me, seemingly in pity, as I stood there in that rolling fog. Finally, Mr. Bryden emerged.
Now then, as far as I know, what I have here is the only thing that Samuel brought back from Barrow. Take a look.
Incredible! A pear!
I suppose it might be important, so I kept it safe. Fate is clearly playing a part in your arrival, lass.
Please, Mr. Bryden, allow me to excavate Hobbs Barrow, a place that is no more than dirt and stone.
You're not gonna give up, are you, lass?
I'm not.
Samuel managed to say one thing about those men that helped him. I think it's time I tell you.
Yes?
He stuttered out that one of those fellows could barely walk after they got out of there. Tongue-tied too, the man were.
My father.
You what?
My father. He had an accident around 25 years ago that left him bedbound and unable to talk.
Aye, could be him.
My mother told me it happened in a horse riding accident.
Samuel boarded up that Barrow for a reason. Something unnatural occurred, I know it.
Mr. Bryden, we must rely on our rational faculties to explain any...
Promise me you'll be careful. Any sign of trouble, leave without hesitation and we board that accursed place up again. Understood?
Wait, you're giving me permission to excavate?
Aye. Against me better judgment. I don't have the energy to stop you, lass.
Thank you so much. I am grateful.
Don't make me regret my decision. Take Samuel's stone.
Are you sure?
Aye. Give it back to me when you're finished, though.
I promise. Thank you. I'll be sure to show you my discoveries, Mr. Bryden.
I'd rather you don't. Now then, I've got things to get on with.
I don't suppose you can spare any labour to help me with the dig?
Don't push your luck, lass. Market's on today. Plenty of able-bodied men about. Ta-ra now.
And like that, I finally had permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow. As exciting as that was, I was distracted by what Mr. Bryden said of his brother's associate. There was no doubt in my mind that father was the stricken man he spoke of. You told me he was crippled after coming off his horse. Why did you lie to me? To protect me, to stop me from following in his footsteps. You failed. And so did Charles Bryden. He should have said no. He should have never given me that stone. Hey, boy.
Hello, dear.
Good day.
Sydney, must you be so unruly? Run along home now, won't you?
I believe we've met.
Miss Thomasina Bateman, the famous antiquarian.
My reputation precedes me.
I can assure you it does.
And you are?
James.
Are you a painter?
You see this beck before you. Look at the water. See how it tumbles and falls. I seek one spot on which my eyes can rest, be it a stone or a small corner of the current. I meet it with my gaze, and out of the tumbling and falling, a new land rises. I see a new world.
You certainly have the eloquence of an artist. What are you painting?
A new world.
Quite the ambition.
Indeed, my ambition knows no bounds.
Can I see it?
Not yet. It's not finished. Such a world is not complete without you in it.
You flatter me, James.
Nonsense. Say you'll let me paint you.
Why not?
Magnificent. You shall be the shining star of my new world.
I don't really have the time now, though. Perhaps later?
Don't fret, my dear. When the time comes, I shall call on thee.
Capital. What do you make of this stone?
It looks antique. You might want to keep a hold of it.
Do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
I'd like to know more about you, Thomasina. What time do you like to rise in the morning? How do you like your tea? What makes you happy?
Well, I like to rise early and watch the sunrise.
With your husband, I'm sure.
No, I'm currently unentangled.
Such a view should be shared with at least a lover.
Do you deem yourself fit for this position?
Indubitably. But do go on. How do you like your tea?
Hot, with just a splash of milk.
No sugar, of course.
No sugar.
It rots the teeth. Your smile is as dazzling as the Himalayan snow.
Oh, James.
And finally, what makes you happy?
Spending time with my father.
I should like to meet him.
Perhaps you will. And you, James? I propose the same queries to you.
All in good time. My truths will surround you in good time.
Do you know Leonard Shoulder?
A man of Bewley?
Yes.
I care not for the men of Bewley. Only for the visitors.
Was that your dog?
Yes, his name is Sidney. Quite the excitable pup. Don't mind his bark. The little fellow wouldn't hurt a fly.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
A fine gentleman. Now that is someone who commands respect.
Do you know him personally?
No, I don't think anyone can really claim that. But what a tiring subject. Shall we discuss something a little more exciting?
Goodbye.
See you soon, my dear.
Good day.
Fresh produce.
What have you got for sale?
I'm selling meat, vegetables, and all sorts of herbs and things. You're welcome to have a gander.
I'll be sure to browse. Goodbye.
Ta-ra, miss.
Good day.
Freshly picked apples, miss. Would you like to try one on the house light?
No, thanks.
As you wish.
I don't think anyone is home.
Can I interest you in a pie? Finest mutton in all the county. 2p each.
No, thank you.
You're missing out.
Hello, Miss Tompkins.
Hello.
We weren't introduced earlier. My name is Thomasina.
Ma'am?
How do you fare, Miss Tompkins?
I'm waiting for Mr. Ambrose. Have you seen him?
Who's that?
The milkman. Miss Fenchurch will be ever so cross if I've no milk for his lordship.
I'm afraid I haven't seen him. You are in the employ of Lord Panswick?
Aye. He employs Arthur Bewley in one way or another.
I'm in need of some help for my excavation. Do you think his lordship could lend me some of his labourers?
Maybe.
Might you introduce me to him?
Sorry, ma'am, but his lordship doesn't take visitors. Any road, I must wait here for Mr. Ambrose. Miss Fenchurch will be ever so cross if I've no milk for his lordship.
If Mr. Ambrose doesn't turn up, and I find you some milk, would you be able to introduce me to Lord Panswick?
His lordship really doesn't like visitors, ma'am.
I'll take the risk.
Miss Fenchurch will be cross with me. But she'll be even crosser if I come back without fresh milk.
So, do we have a deal?
Aye. Bring me some milk, and I'll take you to his lordship.
Thank you.
But hopefully Mr. Ambrose will arrive soon.
I'll let you know if I find some fresh milk.
Thank you, ma'am. But tell me if you see Mr. Ambrose, won't you?
I will. Good day.
Hey up.
I'm having some trouble extricating a knife from a table in the plough and furrow. Might I borrow a pair of pliers?
A knife, you say? I can get that out for you.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Crozier.
Think nothing of it. Wait here. That were a struggle. Here you are.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
day.
Freshly picked apples, miss. Would you like to...
Yes, please.
Here you are, miss.
The apple looks somewhat rotten. It's riddled with holes.
Joe, perhaps you've had enough sugar?
Don't you start an all.
Hello?
Oh, aye, she's back again. Can't a man drink his tea in peace? There's nought for you here, lass.
Horrible man. How many more sugar cubes is he going to add to his tea? He'll have no teeth left by the end of the day. Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
Sorry, lass. I've none at all.
Never mind. Who is Miss Tompkins?
A housemaid in the employ of Panswick Manor. She comes by to pick up his lordship's weekly paper.
I'm surprised newspapers are available in Bewley.
Aye, his lordship gets what he wants.
Lord Panswick likes to keep up with affairs from outside of Bewley.
Aye, he has many interests around the country.
What sort of interests?
His lordship's affairs are his own business.
What do you know of Mother Mildred?
I'll tell you what I know about Mother Mildred. She wants locking up.
How so?
She owes me a small fortune on her tab from years ago. Do remind her next time you see her, won't you?
I'd rather not get involved, if you don't mind.
Be careful who you trust, Miss Bateman.
I've had some rather unbelievable news, Stanley.
Oh? Remarkable.
Quite the coincidence, is it not?
Remarkable. Just remarkable.
Do you recall my father from back then?
I'm afraid not. Those were my droving days, you see. I didn't spend much time in Bewley, but an interesting turn of events nonetheless.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Hands off me, sugar!
I think this is supposed to be for all the patrons, sir.
I said hands off!
Come on, Joe. Be nice to our visitors.
Ha! This place has gone to buggery.
Hello? Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Did you see a young girl with blonde hair pass by here?
No, lass. Here you are. Are you Thomasina Bateman?
That's my name.
How marvellous. It's me, Leonard Shoulder.
Heavens! I'd given up on finding you.
Please take a seat, Miss Bateman. We have much to discuss.
You've proven to be quite the enigma, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm mortified. I offer you 1,000 apologies. You see, I've been bound to me bed these past few days with a terrible fever.
How dreadful. I take it you're feeling better now?
Aye. I were on me way to find you when I stopped here to catch me breath. I've not much go in me these days.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I were worried you'd have given up on me and left town.
I had no idea what had become of you, Mr. Shoulder. I spent a good amount of time pounding on your front door.
I'm embarrassed. I really am. I've been doing my best to sleep through the fever. I am so very sorry. Please accept my apology, Miss Bateman.
Fine, Mr. Shoulder. I've come all this way. Let us speak of the business at hand.
Marvellous.
I've just learned that my father was part of a previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow some 25 years ago. Why didn't you mention this in your letter?
What? Where did you hear that?
I have my means.
I swear, Miss Bateman, I had no idea.
I take it you will also deny delivering me my father's journal?
I'm confused. What journal?
My father's journal was slipped under my door at the Plough and Furrow. It wasn't you who did this?
I've been bound to me bed, lass. What an extraordinary coincidence. You are following in your father's footsteps.
It would seem so, Mr. Shoulder. Why did you invite me to excavate Hobbs Barrow?
I've always been curious about the colourful folklore surrounding the place. My father told me all sorts of stories about it when I were a wee fellow. Stories that some folk around here take a little too seriously, especially after those lads entered the Barrow a while back.
Mr. Bryden has given me permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow.
Marvellous! I'm sorry you've had to sort all this out in my absence. When do we start?
Tomorrow, I hope. But first I need to recruit some locals to assist with the dig. It's too much work for me to do on my own.
I see. Bewley has its fair share of strapping young lads. You'll find assistance, Miss Bateman.
Did you know my father?
I don't believe so. What's his name?
William Bateman. He was in Bewley for at least a few days, from my understanding.
I'm sorry, lass. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Are you sure you had no idea of my father's involvement in the previous excavation?
I'm quite sure. A most fascinating coincidence, but nothing more than that.
I'm starting to wonder if it's more than mere coincidence, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman, I did not take you for a credulous individual.
I'm none of the sort. How did you know about me?
I saw your interview in the Bakewell Times. A young lady travelling about the land, digging up barrows. Perfect for the job.
What do you make of these strange stones, Mr. Shoulder? They seem to originate from the previous excavation. One belonged to my father, the other to Samuel Bryden.
Marvellous things. They look ancient.
I agree. I've never seen anything like them in all my digs. This is my father's journal.
Incredible. Can I look inside?
You may.
Look at these drawings. Wonder what it all means.
You and I both. It all feels very out of character for my father.
I'm sure you'll find the answers beneath the soil, Miss Bateman.
What can you tell me about the previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow?
Oh, it were 25 years ago, or thereabout. Back then, Bewley were undergoing a period of great strife. Samuel Bryden hadn't harvested a single crop for 2 seasons. Even Hernwood was sick. Berries went to rot almost as quickly as they grew. Folks started to believe the ground were blighted. Disease spread through the livestock too. People were going hungry, a panic set in.
That sounds terrible.
Aye, but I managed to keep myself fed. These things happen in nature, but the blame for it all fell on Hobbs Barrow. It was long said that a goblin made his home there. A rumour took root that the goblin were not best pleased with the villagers. In revenge for some unperceived slight, the goblin placed a curse on the soil itself. The villagers believed that ridding the barrow of its lodger would put an end to it all.
Hogwash. My father would have paid no heed to such tales.
Whether it were his intent to join the excavation when coming here, I do not know. But whatever it were that Samuel Bryden and those lads did inside that barrow, people say it did the trick. The crops started to grow back, and health returned to the livestock. Bewley were no longer in the grip of dark forces. You must understand, folk here are a superstitious lot. They don't want you disturbing whatever it were those lads did. As far as the villagers are concerned, the problem were fixed. The thought of another excavation must be conjuring panic that you'll undo whatever it were they did.
This does explain a lot.
And it's also why I'd venture nobody around here wants you to touch the place.
Except for you.
I want to know what's there.
Surely you don't believe these tales of goblins and curses to be true?
Not at all. However, I suspect those lads did find something in the barrow. But did it have any connection to failing crops and dying livestock? No. I can assure you there's nothing to fear. Coincidence reigns supreme.
So what do you think they found?
That is for us to discover, Miss Bateman.
Who was the third man who joined my father and Mr. Bryden on the excavation?
I'm afraid I don't know. Although I'd heard about the excavation and I were intrigued by it, I mostly stayed at home during that time. The atmosphere in the village was rather too tense for my liking. And besides, the excavation were undertaken with an air of mystery about it.
But why do you wish to excavate the barrow?
I want to see what those lads found in there. My curiosity has grown over the years, and now it is time for the mystery to be solved.
I must say I am rather eager to find out what's in there myself. Is this your glove?
I've been looking all over for that. Where did you find it?
In the alley behind the plough and furrow on the night of my arrival. Were you there?
As I say, I've been bedbound for several days, Miss Bateman.
How odd.
Can I please have it back?
Here.
Thank you.
Tell me more of this folklore you mention.
It is said that Hobbs Barrow is home to a goblin. Everyone in Bewley has some version or another of this story. But the version my father told me as a child described the barrow as a thin place. The goblin were deemed to be the guardian of this so-called thin place.
What is a thin place?
A place where one can walk between worlds, where the flesh meets the spirit world. Just superstition, of course, as you will know.
Tell me more about this goblin.
Some said he were a mischievous little mite, snatching newborn lambs and smashing windows with pebbles. Others said he were friendly, there to lend a helping hand in times of strife. The latter of which makes it all the more surprising as to why the previous excavation took place. My father's stories put the goblin in the mischievous category. Saxnot, he called the creature. I recall one such anecdote, that Saxnot entered Bewley and ordered a pair of boots to be made by the cobbler. However, when collecting them, he insisted on paying for them with a bag of sow's teeth. The cobbler was so scared of angering the goblin that he accepted.
A colourful tale indeed, Mr. Shoulder. Has any explanation been offered for why this Saxnot cursed the soil?
Your guess is as good as mine, lass.
I had a peculiar dream last night. I met a creature at Hobbs Barrow. I suppose you might say it was a goblin. It told me it had saved my father from trouble inside Hobbs Barrow. I'll admit the coincidence of this is somewhat astounding.
A remarkable coincidence, but nothing more than that.
But there is still one thing that puzzles me. The goblin told me proof of its claims would await me in the morning. Surely enough, I awoke to find that my father's journal had appeared in my room.
Very queer indeed.
Mr. Shoulder, you invited me here, to a town I'd never heard of, only for me to discover that my own father was here 25 years before. And not only that, but that he was also embroiled in some sort of superstitious hysteria which goes against everything he ever taught me. Something is wrong here. This must be more than mere coincidence.
It's strange, I'll give you that. But please remember who you are, Miss Bateman. We're peas of the same pod, Miss Bateman. I knew you wouldn't be frightened by a few old stories. It will be interesting to see what those lads found in there.
Certainly.
Thank you so very much for responding to my letter and for coming here. We have some great discoveries to make, you and I.
I sincerely hope so.
And a chance to follow in your father's footsteps. Right, Time for me to shift these old bones. I'm to take me a spot of the plough and furrow. I'll be there all night should you need me assistance.
Thank you, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sorry again for giving you the runaround. I promise I am not beyond redemption. I won't let you down again. See you soon.
I was starting to wonder if Mr. Shoulder even existed. The day was starting to test me. The word coincidence felt insufficient to explain what was happening. It was after that first conversation with Leonard Shoulder that I started entertaining thoughts of a truly irrational nature. What if my dream wasn't just a dream? What if it was all more than simple coincidence? What if that thing really could help my father? Good day, little one. Hello? What's this? A fiddle bow? There's no string. My name is Thomasina. What's yours? Don't be shy. I don't mean you any harm. What are you doing out here all alone on the moors? Do you live here? Would you like me to fix your bow so you can play your fiddle again? Yes? Hey! Most peculiar. Perhaps I can mend the bow for her. If memories of my childhood violin lessons serve me right, bowstring is made from animal hair coated in a waxy resin. The strings don't vibrate without it. Hello again, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Behrman.
What else can you tell me about this sax knot?
Try not to worry yourself too much with these old stories. Leave those to the locals, Miss Behrman.
Have others spoken of goblins appearing in their dreams?
A dream is a dream, that is all. They merely make for good stories.
I know.
But to answer your question, no, not to my knowledge.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sure the locals have filled you in already, lass.
You cut quite the mysterious figure. Most had little to say.
It's true, I do tend to keep my head down. When one gets to my age, one grows very comfortable in one's home. I like the isolation of the moors. I wouldn't change it for anything.
I take it you don't get many visitors.
Oh no, nobody bothers me. That's the perk of living so far out, huh? Just me and me hens. I used to come into Bewley more often, back before my health went to buggery.
Is there anything else I should know about Hobbs Barrow, Mr. Shoulder?
No, lass. I'm certain we will know a lot more about it by this time tomorrow.
I hope so. What do you think of Bewley?
Whilst one could consider the villagers to be rather unenlightened, this place has its charm. The market's in town today. You can see that folk want fun out here.
I know where I can find a Scotch egg, that's for certain.
Do treat yourself to one. You'll not taste better.
What do you make of Mildred Walker?
Who?
I believe she's also known as Mother Mildred.
Oh, we used to get about when we were children. Our paths have not crossed in a long while.
What do you think of Charles Bryden?
He is a decent man. It must have been hard for him after that terrible business with his brother.
Without a doubt. I must say I had assumed you had at least spoken to him about my visit.
Sorry, lass, I had no intention of giving you the runaround. Again, I can only apologise.
What do you make of Lord Panswick?
His lordship is an important man in Bewley, as I'm sure you have gathered. His family has commanded much respect here for many generations.
Do you respect him as a leader?
I do. He wants the best for the village. Without his influence, the railway line would have never come through here.
Does he want more visitors?
Aye, I believe so. He has great ambitions for Bewley and wants to share them with the world.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the nature of your ongoing illness?
Oh, just the ravages of age. Getting off this bench will be a small battle in itself. Something you won't need to worry about for many a year, Miss Bateman.
Growing old is a blessing and a curse. And what of your recent fever?
An ordeal it were. So much tossing and turning. But I'm right as rain now, especially after a mug of ale. Don't worry about me.
What are Lord Panswick's plans for Bewley?
He's rebuilding an old chapel on his estate. He seeks to bring God back to these lands.
But what of St. Edmunds? I think Father Roach might argue God has never left.
Indeed. Let's leave such arguments to them, shall we?
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
I should ask Mr. Bryden for permission before attempting to milk his goat.
What do you want?
Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
If you can get any milk out of old Eunice, you're welcome to it.
Eunice?
Me goat. Good luck.
All right, we're doing this. I'm not sure what that was. I don't know what's happening to me. All this superstitious nonsense must be getting to my head. Easy, girl. I'm not fond of goats at the best of times, but this one seems particularly disagreeable.
Well, did you get any milk out of her?
I tried, and failed miserably.
She's a temperamental beast.
Perhaps you could milk her for me?
I'd like to help you, lass, but I've just had a flare-up in me joints. I worked myself too hard this morning. I couldn't bend down to save myself.
Is there anything I can do to help?
My wife would say I'm beyond any help, I'm certain of that. But if you know of any remedies for aching joints, please send them my way.
I'll see what I can do, Mr. Bryden.
I'm going to rest for a while. Ta-ra now.
Daddy, I have something for you. I do hope you remember it. I've taken great care of it. I'll fetch it for you now, all right? Daddy, you must remember this. The day that started it all. It's the red urn you buried in the garden for me. My first ever excavation. Where should I put it? Perfect. It will catch the light from your lamp so nicely. There. I'm going to become a great barrow digger just like you. I hope the pot reminds you of those adventures we had together when I was a child, and how thankful I am for everything you've taught me. Now I must tell you about my visit to Pallinghurst. I found an arrowhead. Good day.
Yes?
Do you know of any remedies for aching joints?
You're too young to be suffering from this, surely.
It's for someone else, Mr. Bryden.
Yes. I know just the poultice.
Capital. May I have some?
Well, I don't have the ingredients, I'm afraid.
What do you need to make it?
It's a simple blend made of natural elements. Elderflower and Flirtwort. I can make the poultice for you if you bring me these things. Then it just needs to be applied directly to the joints. That should ease his burden.
Thank you. Where can I find some Flirtwort?
Flirtwort is not commonly found around Bewley. It's a perennial shrub that bears small white flowers. You might find some growing out on moors if you're lucky.
Thank you. Farewell. This looks like it might be elderflower. I'll take some. Good day. I have some elderflowers here.
Show me. No, this is not elderflower. It's cowbane. An easy mistake to make. The two look very similar.
Oh.
It's safe to eat, as long as you're not a cow. Very toxic to cattle.
Where can I find some elderflower?
There used to be quite a few elder plants growing here in Herne Wood, but they've long since gone. Nowadays, you might find the shrub growing within a hedgerow or a private garden.
I see. What does elderflower look like?
Elderflowers are small, white, and grow in clumps on the elder shrub. Elder shrubs can grow in all shapes and sizes. Just look out for the clumps of tiny white flowers.
Excuse me, Miss Bateman. I'm in something of a hurry. Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. Which work is that quote from?
Romeo and Juliet. Oh, he's gone.
Good day to you, pet.
Hello, Mrs. de Plancy.
If you're looking for Father Roach, he won't be back until tomorrow.
Where is Father Roach?
You might have noticed the good father has a green thumb. He's gone to visit his friend in the countryside to purchase some seedlings for his tower garden.
Where is Father Roach's tower garden?
Why, on top of St. Edmund's, of course. He's got a lovely collection of cuttings up there. You'll have to ask him to show you.
It does sound rather pleasant. It's a shame he's not around.
Well, he does have a spare key for the tower door somewhere.
Do you know where Father Roach keeps his spare key?
No, that's his business. If I did know, I'd fetch it myself and take you up there.
Not to worry.
I do recall him saying he hid it outside somewhere, for safekeeping, like. Were it in the graveyard? Oh, I don't know. Best wait till he gets back, pet.
Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
In memory of Henry Crozier. In memory of Romeo Hegg, dearly missed by his beloved Juliet. I think I can chip away at this plaster. There's a key behind here. This has to be Father Roach's spare. Capital. A small label on the pot reads Flirtwort. This is just what I need. I should put the key back. There. I hope that stays on. This is where I dug up Jane's ragdoll. You're coming with me, little fellow. I shall name you Kenneth. The worm has found a new home within the holes of the rotten apple. I'm not hungry. This looks like elderflower to me. Good day.
Fresh produce?
Is that elderflower you're selling?
Aye, perfect for teas and tinctures.
Any good for sore joints?
Aye, penny a bunch.
I'm afraid I don't have any money.
Sorry, miss. Does it look like I'm running a charity?
Can we work something out? A trade, perhaps?
I deal in cash only, miss. No coin, no elderflower. What do you take me for?
Goodbye.
Ta-ra, miss.
I dare you to juggle an extra apple.
Easy. Yuck, a worm!
Not tempting.
Oi, put those back!
Sorry.
You'll pay for any damage.
Sorry, miss.
Hello again, little worm. I dare you to juggle an extra apple.
Easy. Yuck, a worm!
I managed to swap them without her noticing. Good day. I have the ingredients you asked for.
Wonderful. Hand them over. There you go. Tell Mr. Bryden to apply this poultice to the area in question. It works wonders.
Thank you very much.
Yes?
I've got a poultice for your joints, Mr. Bryden. It was prepared by Mildred Walker.
Who?
You may know her as Mother Mildred.
Oh, thank you, lass. That Mildred knows what she's doing. I should have thought to see it myself.
She said to apply it directly to where the pain is. It should work very swiftly.
I'll give it a try. Oh, that did the trick, lass. I feel like a lad of 20 again. I suppose you'll be wanting me to milk old Eunice for you in return.
If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it.
A fair exchange. Stand well back, lass.
Believe me, I'm not coming an inch closer.
There you are, lass. Some fresh milk.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bryden. I've got a pail of fresh milk here for you, Miss Tompkins.
You haven't?
Here.
Mum, you've saved my hide. Thank you.
Are you all right?
I'm worried about Mr. Ambrose. Any road, I'm heading back to Panswick Manor now. Would you still like to meet his lordship?
Very much so.
Now, I can't guarantee you'll be home, all right? He's a very busy man.
I'll take my chances.
Follow me, then. Come on over. It's not much further.
What time do you call this?
Sorry, Mum.
Give it here, then. What the hell is this muck?
Goat's milk, Mum.
You daft bint. Since when does his lordship take goat's milk with his tea? Oh, he will not be pleased. Get back to your sweeping before I clip you over the head.
Sorry, Mum.